Hello and welcome to Premier Vegas Sports Boxing Edition. Hilberto Monsanto, lead boxing writer for Review Journal, alongside Brian Salmon, a guy who just likes the guys doing the pugilism inside the squared circle. And Gilbert, we're just one day off of Canelo withdrawing from his fight with Triple G. You were at the press conference out in LA at Golden Boy headquarters. I guess, what was your biggest takeaway from that whole event?
Yeah, it was a very strange, bizarre, abrupt press conference. But I guess the whole thing was they withdrew from the fight before the hearing with the Nevada Commission April 18th. So that was, I think, about 2 weeks before that. Mm-hmm. So they kind of got a head start, let Triple G, get their own fight on May 5th at MGM Grand. But there's still a lot of questions there, or that were not answered. Like, why were you, caught with clenbuterol twice in February?
All right, so Hilberto, Gilbert, I've been saying this, you kind of like this, squared circle season. It's squared circle season. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fights that we have coming up during squared circle season. You see right down there, May 5th, Golovkin versus some question marks, which is likely a tomato can.
But there's a fight. There's going to be a fight at least on Cinco de Mayo. I'm excited about that at least.
Yeah, we don't know who he's going to fight. What are some of the names? I'm thinking Danny Jacobs looks like a good one.
I thought so too, but that's not going to happen. He's fighting April 28th in Brooklyn, his hometown, for HBO card, and HBO is not going to move that event to put him on with Golovkin for the rematch, because that was a really good fight the first time around.
It was. But
HBO is going to keep, it sounds like they're going to keep a pay-per-view for Golovkin. I don't know how you're going to sell a fight when he's fighting, like you said, a tomato can.
Yeah. All right. So also on squared circle season, there's some fights that are coming up. One that we have in Las Vegas that we're going to talk with Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. It should be a very good one. Hurd versus Lara. Puncher versus a guy who's a slick boxer. We got a chance to interview the CEO, Leonard Ellerbe, and here's what he had to say about that fight. All right, the set is magically changed, and it's time now to introduce the man sitting next to the man. This is Leonard Ellerbe, of course, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. We welcome him to Premier Vegas Sports, the boxing edition. And first, Leonard, I want to butter you up and just kind of let you know that Mayweather Promotions is doing a very good job. The two biggest cards we've had in the fight capital this year to date, Garcia Rios, which you guys promoted, and then the fight we have coming up this weekend with Hurd and Lara. So you guys are doing your thing. Well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, in looking at the fight that we have coming up with Hurd and Lara, let's go ahead and take a look at the tail of the tape. It's a classic puncher versus boxer, in my opinion. You got a guy who's a little bit older, who's very slick. He's a southpaw going up against Hurd, who looks like a fighter. I guess, what are your thoughts on the main event? If you can sell people out there like why they should be watching Showtime or buying some tickets to go over and watch this fight live.
It's a terrific matchup. You have two contrasting styles. You have, as you just mentioned, you have Lara, who's the consummate slick boxer coming from the Cuban school of boxing. You have Hurd, tough, physical, come forward type of fighter. Who's going to force the fight on Lara.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very, very entertaining main event.
All right. Should be a nice crowd out there as well, I would assume. I mean, people are starved, want some boxing around here.
Oh, and they're going to get it Saturday night. Lots of good action.
All right, all right.
What's a doubleheader at the Hard Rock Hotel? Here, they're at the joint, right? Is that correct? At the joint. The co-main event's going to be a
triple header.
Triple header. Right, so there's more than one fight. Is it the third one, Sergio and
No, the fight that's going to open the card, we have Julian Williams. He's taking on Nathaniel Gallimore, and it's an IBF eliminator. And then in the co-main, we have Caleb Truax, who's the IBF super middleweight champion. He's defending his title that he just recently won in December over James DeGale. And they're fighting in a rematch.
That's a good story, because Caleb came out of nowhere from Minnesota, supposed to go for a tune-up fight overseas in England to fight James DeGale, who's a star there, won a gold medal there, and he beat him, James DeGale, in his home territory. I guess, what do you see for the rematch? You think that Caleb is a real deal and can actually beat James DeGale twice, who fought your guy, Badu Jack, not too long ago?
Yeah, Caleb, he's a very good fighter. He's a guy that, he's had some success, and he had some, fights that didn't go his way. But he always keeps himself in shape, and he's a student of the game, and I was very happy for him, and actually for Minnesota, for him becoming, I think he's like their third world champion, but he's a very nice guy, and he's a great attribute to the sport.
So we got to ask him about everything. So hold his feet to the fire. But go ahead and ask him about the.
Well, you mentioned the middleweight division. The big fight supposed to be Canelo against Triple G. Canelo pulled out. You know, being a promoter of so many big fights with Floyd Mayweather, I guess what do you feel for Tom Laufer and Golovkin that they're trying to put a card together so quickly? And what do you think about the whole Canelo situation pulling out?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's just very unfortunate, and it's just a black eye, you know, to the sport. Unfortunately, he's right now he's the biggest star in the sport, and it's unfortunate that he tested positive. But again, it's one thing I can say about the Nevada Athletic State Commission. They have very strict rules, led by Bob Bennett, and they're very fair and consistent across the board with everyone, and they're doing a great job.
Now, obviously, again, questions about stuff that are big in the sport of combat sports. I've seen you talk about it. The man with the name on the sweatsuit, Floyd, has been talking about training in MMA. I guess first thing, when you first heard Floyd, like, man, training in MMA, what were your initial thoughts? Like, man, what are you doing? Like, I know you're a good fighter, but come on, really?
Anything Floyd gets into, he's a competitor. And he's just, I mean, whether you're playing basketball, pool, ping pong, anything, he's just a competitor. If this is something that he's interested in doing, it'll be a long, thought-out process. And he's made very good decisions as it relates to his career. And if he does decide to do something like that, he's coming to do his thing. It wouldn't be about anything other than him competing and winning.
So would you like to make any announcements to anyone that?
No.
I was just making sure. All right, just making
If
sure.
he ever has to make a decision, you'll find out just like I will.
Okay.
You don't think it's crazy he's going to another sport? You know, I know Conor did it for him, but for you, did you ever advise him, like, hey, Floyd, think about it?
Who said he's going to another sport?
I mean, he's thinking about it. I don't know. There's kicks involved. You're saying, you know, Floyd, I want you to be safe and healthy. You're retired. Did you ever talk to him? Maybe he's considering it?
Well, again, he's never asked me my opinion for something like that. And if he were ever to make a decision, he would make the best decision that he thinks is, you know, for him and his family.
There you go. Entertainment at its finest. CEO Leonard Ellerbe of Mayweather Promotions. Of course, we'll be able to get Badu Jack to come to Vegas Premier Sports Boxing Edition, come here and talk to us, right?
Most definitely.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, Gilberto Monsanto and Leonard Ellerbe. I'm Brian Salmon. Thank you for joining us.